Hey guys, how's it going? For this video, I wanted to take you guys through my guaranteed no stalemate queen king checkmate technique. Now, I know a lot of people out there when you're first learning this technique, or even if you're fairly comfortable with this technique, at some point in time you struggle towards the end, trying not to stalemate. You try to bring your queen to corner the king, but you don't want to box the king in too much to where your opponent doesn't have a legal move. And if you have time pressure, or if you're just trying to remember the technique and not worry about stalemating, that can take a lot of brain power. And I'm not here for using a lot of brain power. So I wanted to show you guys the technique that I use that guarantees that you'll never have to worry about stalemating. So the way this starts, and the first thing to kind of note, is how the queen throughout this video will only remain on this A file here. So the first step is to move your queen to A4. Now, the reason why I chose the fourth row is so I cut the king off horizontally. That's a very important step. You want to cut the king off horizontally. And now you're actually just going to leave the queen here. So let's say the king decides to just kind of wander around this row here, waiting for you to kick the king back. That's perfectly alright. So let's say they go here. Now all you do is just bring your king forward. Let's say they go here. The important step to help this pattern go smoothly is to follow the king in an L-shaped manner like this. So we follow the king in an L shape. And this is the second part where I call this king tag. Let's say the king keeps running to escape your king. That's perfectly fine. We don't have to worry about our queen. We just leave the queen there and we just play king tag. So they can keep running, but at some point they're going to bounce back. Now when they do, we call this opposition. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail of what opposition means, but all you really have to know in simple terms for this exercise is opposition means the king mirrors each other. So now that we have our kings kind of just looking at each other, this is very important because now our king defends this square, and this square. All the squares that our opponent's king, the only 3 legal squares that our opponent's king could come to if they went down. So at this point in time, now this is when we move our queen. Move it up just 1 square to give a check. And now that we've cut the king off, they're forced to go backwards. So they have 3 options, right? They have h6, g6, or f6. Doesn't matter which square they go to. If they go back to f6, or g6, or h6, we are following our opponent's king in an L-shaped manner. So if they go to f6, we're going to go to g4. We're going to keep that pattern. If they go to g6, we're going to go to h4. We're going to keep that L-shaped pattern. If they go to h6, we go to g4. Keep that L-shaped pattern. Just going to keep emphasizing that because that'll help the technique go very smoothly. So let's say they go back here to f6 and we follow on. Now we repeat the same thing again. Let's say they don't want to play this tag game. Let's just say they go back. That just reduces the amount of time we have to take to checkmate them. Because now all we do is we just move our queen up 1 square. Give a check, knock the king back down. Pretty simple as that. So back here, let's say they decide to run. They decide to run, we do the exact same thing. Just run our king over, and at some point they have to bounce back. We cover all the squares. Now we use our queen, and we kick the king back. So let's say they go here. We can go to e5 for this L shape. They can also go to c5 for this L shape. So same story. If they mirror us, opposition, we just knock them back with our queen. If they go here, we play this king tag game. Just keep running and running, they bounce back. They're mirroring our king. Now we give them a check. And for the final row, same thing. Follow them at the L shape. They can keep running, they're just prolonging their fate. And then here, queen to a8 is checkmate. So let's just kind of review this one more time from the beginning. Essentially, we start here. The first important step is to make sure that our queen cuts the king off horizontally. So here we do that by going to the 4th row, cut the king off. And then no matter where the king moves, all we do is slowly bring our king in an L-shaped manner. So right here. And now the technique begins. So we run, king tag over here. They finally bounce back. We give them a check. If they move back, we do the same exact thing. They can play this game of king tag, does not matter. We just come back and we give them a check. Knock them back, same thing, L shape. If they ever decide not to play king tag, that just saves us time because we can just knock them back a rank immediately. they go back, follow the same exact thing. And this whole entire time, our queen is just chilling on the a file. We never ever have to worry about stalemates. We don't have to worry about getting our queen too close. We never have to check if our opponent has illegal moves. So I like to teach this technique just because I think it's very simple. You just memorize those 2 to 3 important details. You get the L shape, you cut the king off horizontally, just leave your queen on the corner of the board. And this is my guaranteed no stalemate queen king checkmate technique. And the same pattern is applicable for rook king with a few additions that I have explained in the video after this. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys learned something. Hope it was easy to understand. And let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. Have a good one, guys.